Imagine a kind boy in your neighborhood. He helps old people cross the street. He loves dogs. He hates bullying. One day, he joins a group. Slowly, he laughs when they tease someone. Then he pushes someone. Then he beats up someone. How did this sweet boy turn into a monster? This is not just a story. This is real. It has happened again and again in history. And there's a name for this, the Lucifer Effect. Psychologists say every human has a good side and a dark side. Most people think they would never do bad things. But experiments have proven, in the right situation, even good people can do terrible things. Today, you and I will see real stories, shocking experiments, and why your brain can be tricked to become cruel. And most importantly, how to protect yourself. Listen carefully, because if you skip this, you may never know when you too could turn into what you hate the most. Let's begin. Introduction to the Lucifer Effect plus Stanford Prison Story. So, what exactly is the Lucifer Effect? It's a big name for a simple idea. Even good people can do very bad things if they're in the wrong situation. This idea shocked the world when a man named Philip Zimbardo did an experiment in 1971. Let's hear the true story. A group of 24 young men volunteered for a psychology study. They were healthy, friendly, and normal college students. Zimbardo turned the basement of his university into a fake prison. He gave half of the boys guard uniforms and sunglasses. The other half had to wear prisoner clothes and numbers. The guards could not hit the prisoners, but they were told to keep order. At first, everyone laughed and thought it was just acting. But something scary happened. Within a few days, the guards started shouting at the prisoners. They made them do push-ups in the middle of the night. They forced them to clean toilets with their hands. Some prisoners cried. Some wanted to run away. Remember, these were all normal, friendly boys just days ago. But in uniforms with power and no rules, they turned cruel. They enjoyed bossing others around. Zimbardo had to stop the experiment early because it got too dangerous. This showed the world a scary truth. It's not always evil people who do evil things. Sometimes, normal people turn cruel when they think they have permission, power, and no one to stop them. This is the Lucifer Effect in action. But don't worry, in this video, I'll show you how to spot this trap and never become a monster yourself. Stay with me. The next story is even more shocking. More real stories, soldiers, cults, and everyday people. You might think, okay, that was just an experiment. But does this happen in real life? Yes, and it's even scarier. Let me tell you a true story about soldiers. In some wars, young soldiers are trained to fight for their country. They start out believing they will protect people. But in battle, when fear, anger, and orders from above mix together, some soldiers have done terrible things to innocent people. This doesn't mean all soldiers are bad. No, many are heroes. But it shows how powerful situations and orders can turn good people cruel. Now let's look at cults. Maybe you've heard about cult leaders who control their followers. People join thinking they'll find peace or God. But step by step, the leader brainwashes them. Followers start obeying every order, even if it's wrong. Some give up their money, their freedom, sometimes even their lives. These people were normal, kind, smart. But in the wrong group, with fear and blind trust, they lose themselves. Think about your own life. Have you ever done something bad just because your friends were doing it? Or stayed silent when you should have spoken up? That is a tiny piece of the Lucifer Effect in your daily life. This is why it's so important to understand how your mind works, so you don't fall into this trap. In the next part, I'll explain what happens in your brain when you turn good or bad, and why knowing this can protect you from becoming someone you hate. Stay with me. This is the most important part yet. How your brain turns good or bad. So how does this really work in your brain? Imagine your brain is like a house with many rooms. One room is kindness, one is anger, one is fear. One is courage. Which room you enter depends on your situation. Most people like to stay in the kindness room. But when they feel scared, or when someone says, "You must obey me," they might run into the fear or anger room instead. Here's a simple example. Have you ever seen a big crowd shout mean things at someone? Some people join the shouting even though, alone, they would never do it. This is called mob mentality. The crowd makes them feel safe to be cruel. Another example, when a boss or leader says, "Do it or you will be punished," people obey, even if they feel it's wrong. Psychologists call this authority pressure. So 3 big things change how people act. 1. Fear of punishment. 2. Wanting to belong. 3. Having power over others. When these come together, kindness can hide and cruelty can grow. But here's the good news. Your brain can be trained to stay strong. If you learn to pause, think for yourself, and speak up, you can stop the bad side from taking over. Next, I'll share how to train your mind so you never become a puppet for someone's evil plan. Don't go. What I say next will help you for the rest of your life. How to protect your mind from becoming a monster. Now you know how easy it is for good people to turn bad. But don't worry. There are simple things you can do to protect your mind. First, remember, always think before you follow a crowd. If your friends tell you, "Come on, do this, everyone's doing it," stop and ask yourself, would I do this if I was alone? Second, trust your gut feeling. If something feels wrong, it usually is. Don't ignore that small voice inside you. Third, speak up, even if you feel scared. When you say this is not right, you break the power of fear. Fourth, choose your leaders wisely. Never follow someone blindly, not a teacher, not a boss, not even a spiritual guru. A true leader doesn't force you to obey. They help you think for yourself. Fifth, practice daily self-checks. Ask yourself, was I kind today? Did I hurt someone because others told me to? Did I stay true to my heart? These small questions keep your inner light bright. And finally, learn to be alone sometimes. When you sit alone, you meet your real self. This makes your mind stronger than any crowd. If you follow these simple steps, no one can make you cruel. Not fear, not power, not bad leaders. You stay you, honest, kind, and free. Now let's finish with one deep truth you must remember forever. The deep truth. Here is the deepest truth I want you to remember. No one is born a monster, and no one is born an angel. Inside you, there is light and there is shadow. The one you feed is the one that grows. Sometimes life will test you. Fear, power, and crowds may try to drag you into darkness. But when you pause, breathe, and listen to your heart, you will always find your way back to the light. This is what makes you truly human. Not being perfect, but choosing kindness again and again. If this message touched you, share it with someone you love. And if you want to understand more about your mind and soul, check out my other videos. You are not alone on this path. Thank you for staying till the end. You didn't just watch a video, you learned to protect your soul. Stay awake, stay free, and stay human. See you in the next video.